I'm apprentice lineman here at Westerville Electric Division, and I've been here full-time for about 3 years. I went to a high school vocational school for people that want to work like hands-on jobs, and they had power line there, so that's where I got started there. We learned how to climb poles and stuff and learned about the basics of electricity there for a couple years. That's actually I got this job, but now that I have this job, I go to school up in Mount Gilead, Ohio, where we basically learn. I go about 2 to 3 times a year for weeks out of a year, and basically learn stuff that we're doing here on the job we learn in school. Most of our training is here on the job training, but we do a bunch of different stuff. I probably go there 10 times throughout my schooling. So basically a bunch of different stuff. Learn how transformers work on a pole, and learn how to climb a pole better, and do hurt man rescue and a bunch of different stuff there. The basics of electricity and all that kind of fun stuff. I got into line work because I did not want to have an office job. I didn't want to work inside, I wanted to work outside. And I like the idea of climbing 40-foot poles and being in bucket trucks up 40 to 50 foot in the air. Yeah, I just wanted to be outside. That was the main reason. So basically, I get here in the morning, I come down to this truck. This is my truck. I make sure I fill up the water jug, make sure it's fully stocked, because we got a bunch of stuff in it, so make sure we're not missing anything. Make sure all of our hand battery tools, all the batteries are charged up. And then we head out to the day. We don't do the same thing every day. One day we might be setting a pole. The next day we might be pulling underground wire to a house that's getting built, a new service for that. So it's pretty much every day's different, which I love. I wouldn't want to do the same thing every day, so I think it's great that I get a different variety of things to do. So obviously you gotta have electricity on all the time. So sometimes storms come through and knock down power lines, or a car hits a pole. So basically we could get the call in the middle of the night. We might be at home and say, hey, a car hit a pole, or a storm came through, knocked a bunch of wire down. So we can work all night long in the dark and through the rain. It doesn't matter. We gotta get the power back on because everyone needs electricity. It doesn't matter what time it is or what the weather is, we gotta get it back on. About 6 months ago, it was raining all night long and everything was wet, and a trash truck had its boom up and took out about 3 poles. So we had to change all those out in the early morning, and it was raining the whole time, and so that wasn't very fun, but we got her done. When the storm comes through and everyone's power's off and getting their power back on and seeing the smile on their face and stuff, they're like, thank you so much. Most of the time they're so grateful for what you do, and that's pretty rewarding. Today, we have a switch that was out in the field, and we needed to change the oil in it because it had some water in it, and it was all dirty. So we got all the oil drained out of it, and we're putting a new seal on it because the old seal was all nasty, and that's how the water got in it. So we're working on that right now. So like I said, we do all kinds of different stuff. It's not the same thing every day. You never know what you're gonna do. This is Bryce, one of our high school interns. He is currently going to a vocational school like I was for power line, so he gets the opportunity to come here over the summer and every other week here through the winter to get to learn his skill about being a power lineman and see if he likes to do it in real life or not. And so this is Bryce.
My name is Cody. I'm a journeyman lineman. I've been working for the city for 10 years, and training for our job is about 5 years of schooling. Then for us, it's you go to school for a week, then you do on-the-job training till your next school. So that could be a month, it could be 2 months from then, but you go for a week at a time. Then you do on-the-job training for the rest of the time. Then you do that for 5 years, and once you finish that, then you have like about a year to finish your hours. Then you become a journeyman lineman. What made me go into the career of lineman would be my dad was actually a lineman, and my grandpa worked for Ohio Bell. This is kind of similar, but yeah, my dad was the main one that got me wanting to getting to line work, getting to go help people that when the lights go out, if there's a big storm, it's just awesome to help people out. A typical day for us, well, right now I am on the underground crew, so a typical day for us is working on underground utilities. Like right now we're working in a new housing or a new condo development, and we're pulling in wire, we're splicing wire, we're actually right now we're working on pulling wire into the garages, so, and this is pretty much just the final step for us. But we have 2 other crews that are overhead crews, so they usually work on the overhead lines, so they get to go work up in the air. And then there's another crew that is just like does miscellaneous stuff, so works on street lights, works on outages, whatever comes up in the day. So a non-typical day for us would be like, first of all, a big storm comes through. Like there's been a couple over the summer where it was lunchtime and a storm came through and it just knocked out a bunch of power to like everybody. Then we're just like running around trying to figure out what's going on. We have to figure out what we have to assess all the damage first. But then other than that, I've been to other states. I've been working to New York to work an ice storm. We've been going down to Florida to work hurricanes. We've even done some mutual aid here close in Ohio. So it's like endless things. The most rewarding part is if there is an outage or something like that, and people are out of power for a couple days, couple hours, especially if it's like cold out or it's hot out, and you get their power turned back on, and people are really grateful. It's just awesome to help people out. This is actually we were doing an underground job, and we were opening up a transcloser. It kind of looks like this back here, but it's smaller. And we opened up, and there was a skunk in it, and that was the most unusual thing that's probably happened to me. Like we opened it up, and there's just a skunk there, just staring there, looking at us, and we had to remove that piece of equipment. So we really didn't know what to do to get the skunk out. So that was pretty unusual for us. The job is very rewarding. It's like one of the best blue collar jobs you can have. You're outside working. If you're on like another company, like a contract or something, you could be going and working storms for like a hurricane or something. You can go work for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time, come back, then another hurricane comes in, and you can go right back out of town. It's a very, very rewarding job, but it's also very hands-on. I mean, you're going to use your hands a lot, and the best thing too is like we get to climb a lot. We get to climb all the wooden poles a lot, and even some of us get to compete in line worker rodeos, so that's pretty fun too. So it's just an awesome job.